Beloved one, listen closely. This message is for you. Slow your breathing. Set aside the noise. Put down the fear, the rushing, the restless thoughts, the old disappointments, and the voices that keep telling you that you are too late, too small, too ordinary, too unseen. I know every thought that has crossed your mind before this moment. I know the questions you carry in silence. I know the ache you do not explain to anyone. I know the battles you smile through. I know the burden you have learned to hide behind your strength. And I know that beneath all of it, there is still a heart in you that longs to be chosen, understood, honored, and called forward into something greater than what you have settled for. So hear me now. You have spent too much time waiting for permission from the world to become who I already created you to be. You have spent too much time standing at the edge of your own becoming, looking at the size of the mountain instead of the size of the strength I placed within you. You have measured yourself against other people's timelines, other people's gifts, other people's doors, other people's applause, and in doing so, you have sometimes forgotten that I do not build lives according to comparison. I build according to calling. I do not move by human ranking. I move by purpose. I do not ask whether the world expects it. I ask whether I have appointed it. And today I am telling you that you must answer a question. Not a question sent to flatter your ego. Not a question meant to make you panic. Not a question designed to pull you into fantasy or noise. But a question that reveals your readiness. A question that exposes the true condition of your heart. A question that stands before you like a gate between who you have been and who you are becoming. The question is this. If the opportunity you say you have been waiting for finally stood in front of you, would your answer be fear or faith? Would your answer be delay or discipline? Would your answer be self-doubt or obedience? Would your answer be confusion or clarity? Would your answer be excuses or action? You say you are waiting for a sign. You say you are waiting for a breakthrough. You say you are waiting for your life to change. You say you are waiting for one powerful moment, one open door, one conversation, one chance, one recognition, one invitation that could alter the direction of everything. But hear me carefully, many of you are not truly waiting for an opportunity. You are waiting to feel unafraid. And that day will not come the way you imagine it will. Courage is not the absence of trembling. Courage is the decision to move while your hands still shake. Faith is not the removal of uncertainty. Faith is the choice to answer while not every detail has been explained. This is why the question matters. When people hear a name like Elon Musk, they think of scale. They think of innovation, wealth, risk, ideas, speed, industry, pressure, vision, and the power to act boldly in places where others only talk. They think of a person associated with enormous decisions, public influence, massive responsibility, and a willingness to bet on what does not yet fully exist. And whether you admire that, question it, or simply notice it, there is something symbolic in the name before you now. The deeper point is not celebrity. The deeper point is this: what do you do when greatness, pressure, possibility, and responsibility all seem to look in your direction at once? What answer rises from your spirit when the moment feels larger than you? That is the real test. Because many people pray for enlargement, but they do not prepare their inner life for weight. Many people ask me to make them visible, but they have not learned how to remain grounded when attention arrives. Many people ask for influence, but they have not yet become faithful with the voice, habits, and time they already possess. Many people ask for extraordinary doors, but they still treat ordinary assignments carelessly. Many people want the table of kings while resisting the discipline of servants. Many people want their life to suddenly matter in a bigger way, but they avoid the private refinements that make public trust possible. So I ask again, if the question came to you now, what would your answer reveal? Would it reveal that you are still building your identity on whether people approve of you? Would it reveal that you still believe your past disqualifies you? Would it reveal that you still need every guarantee before taking one step? Would it reveal that you mistake delay for wisdom and comfort for peace? Would it reveal that you have allowed rejection to become a philosophy? Would it reveal that you secretly believe that important things happen for other people, but not for you? Would it reveal that you talk about destiny but live as if everything is accidental? Or would your answer reveal that you have finally learned to stand in the truth that I am with you? Would it reveal that you have become teachable, steady, humble, clear-eyed, and willing? Would it reveal that you are ready to stop shrinking when life asks more of you? Would it reveal that you understand that every big assignment begins with a small yes? Would it reveal that you have stopped asking to be rescued from growth and started embracing the refinement that growth requires? Beloved, the message is not that a famous man is your savior. The message is that no human name, however large it sounds to the world, should make you forget who your source is. If anyone asks you a question that could change your path, the real issue is not their power. The real issue is whether you know mine. The real issue is whether your heart is anchored. The real issue is whether success has become an idol to you or whether purpose still governs your desire. The real issue is whether you seek status or stewardship. The real issue is whether, if I opened a notable door, you would walk through it as a person who remembers me, honors me, and remains whole. You are not meant to worship opportunity. You are meant to steward it. You are not meant to be hypnotized by big names. You are meant to discern what is true, what is wise, what is worthy, what aligns with your values, and what I am asking of you in that hour. You are not meant to answer every loud invitation. Some doors are distractions wrapped in glamour. Some chances are tests of your integrity more than your ambition. Some moments come to see whether you can remain yourself when the world offers you a costume. Some voices ask questions not to discover your substance, but to exploit your hunger. This is why you need discernment along with desire. This is why you need character along with talent. This is why you need spiritual maturity along with boldness. If you want your life to rise, your spirit must deepen. There are many people who want to be discovered, but they do not want to be developed. They want the spotlight, but not the pruning. They want the reward, but not the repetition. They want the breakthrough, but not the boring faithfulness that usually comes before it. They want the answer to be glamorous. But many of my greatest works begin where no one is clapping. Many of my strongest servants are formed in obscurity. Many of my clearest instructions come when there is no audience, no trend, no announcement, and no visible proof that anything dramatic is happening at all. That is where your answer is being built. Every day you choose discipline over drift, your answer is being built. Every day you choose honesty over image, your answer is being built. Every day you choose patience over panic, your answer is being built. Every day you choose to learn instead of pretending, your answer is being built. Every day you choose to keep going when nobody sees your effort, your answer is being built. Every day you refuse bitterness, refuse laziness, refuse envy, refuse self-betrayal, refuse the temptation to compare your calling to someone else's success, your answer is being built. Do not underestimate the forming power of hidden obedience. You have asked me for acceleration, but have you let me teach you consistency? You have asked me for abundance, but have you let me teach you stewardship? You have asked me for favor, but have you let me teach you humility? You have asked me for influence, but have you let me teach you restraint? You have asked me for promotion, but have you let me heal your motives? You have asked me for a larger life, but have you allowed me to make you trustworthy in the life you already have? I am not mocking your desires. I placed many of them in you. The desire to build, the desire to create, the desire to matter, the desire to rise, the desire to bring something meaningful into the world, the desire to not die with your gifts buried inside you, these are not always wrong. But desire must be purified so it does not devour you. Ambition must be surrendered so it can be redeemed. Vision must be anchored in truth so it does not become vanity wearing spiritual clothes. Some of you think the question is, can I become great? But the truer question is, can I become faithful? Because faithfulness is the root from which lasting greatness can grow without destroying the one who receives it. If success comes before your character is strengthened, your own achievements may wound you. If visibility comes before you know who you are, attention may become a trap. If access comes before discernment, open doors may lead you into expensive confusion. If affirmation comes before healing, you may build your entire life trying to keep strangers impressed while your soul grows weaker underneath the applause. I love you too much to answer every prayer in the form you first requested. Sometimes when you ask for speed, I answer with shaping. Sometimes when you ask for arrival, I answer with preparation. Sometimes when you ask for proof, I answer with practice. Sometimes when you ask for the mountain, I answer with another day in the valley because something in the valley still needs to be formed in you. Do not call it abandonment when I am training your hands. Do not call it silence when I am strengthening your roots. Do not call it delay when I am building the part of you that the next season will require. You have looked at your life and wondered whether anything important is really happening. You have looked at your work and thought it was too small. You have looked at your efforts and thought they were too scattered. You have looked at your dreams and thought maybe they were too unrealistic. You have looked at your failures and wondered whether they ruined something forever. But I say to you, nothing is wasted when it is surrendered. Not the pain. Not the humiliation. Not the closed door. Not the season of confusion. Not the time you had to start again. Not the mistakes you have repented of. Not the years that seemed slower than everyone else's. I am able to weave even your broken pieces into wisdom if you stop hiding them from me and let me work. Some of you are still ashamed of the chapters that did not go according to plan. You think the wrong turn disqualified you. You think the delay made you irrelevant. You think the season of obscurity erased your value. You think the people who underestimated you wrote the final sentence. They did not. They only observed one page. I am still writing the story. But hear this carefully, I do not merely want to surprise your doubters. I want to transform you. I do not merely want to show others what I can do through your life. I want you to become someone who can carry what I release without losing yourself. I want your inner life to become stronger than your outer pressure. I want your peace to become more precious to you than performance. I want your obedience to become deeper than your ego. I want your identity to become so settled in my love that whether your name is known by millions or remembered by only a few, you remain rooted, sane, grateful, and true. So what is your answer? If the moment asks, are you ready to act with courage, what is your answer? If the moment asks, will you keep your integrity when something impressive is offered to you, what is your answer? If the moment asks, can you be calm when the stakes feel high, what is your answer? If the moment asks, will you do the work required after the excitement fades, what is your answer? If the moment asks, will you remain humble if your opportunity becomes larger than expected, what is your answer? If the moment asks, will you remember who carried you here, what is your answer? I am not looking for perfection from you. I am looking for honesty. I am not asking whether you know everything. I am asking whether you are willing to be led. I am not asking whether you have eliminated all weakness. I am asking whether you have stopped making an agreement with defeat. I am not asking whether you have already become everything you are meant to be. I am asking whether you will stop resisting the process that is making you so. For some of you, your answer needs to be repentance. You have allowed distraction to rule your days. You have called passivity waiting on God when really you were avoiding responsibility. You have said you were discerning when really you were stalling. You have called fear wisdom and comfort peace. You have filled your mind with noise and then wondered why your spirit felt dull. You have asked for clarity but refused to create stillness. You have asked for increase but remained casual with your habits. You have wanted your life to change while protecting the very patterns that keep you small. Come out of agreement with that now. Your future cannot be built on constant avoidance. Your calling cannot grow in the soil of chronic hesitation. Your confidence cannot mature if you keep feeding it with excuses. Your gifts cannot sharpen if you only use them when inspiration feels easy. Your mind cannot become clear if you spend your days scattered and unguarded. Your spirit cannot stay strong if you keep kneeling to every distraction that promises relief but leaves you emptier. I am calling you back to simplicity. Return to truth. Return to discipline. Return to prayer. Return to learning. Return to clean motives. Return to the quiet place where your soul can hear my voice above the opinions of the crowd. Return to the assignments you already know I gave you. Return to the responsibilities that build trust. Return to the daily practices that strengthen your answer before any major question ever arrives. There is a reason some opportunities seem to pass people by. It is not always because they were forgotten. Sometimes it is because they were not yet aligned. Sometimes it is because their hunger was real, but their structure was weak. Sometimes it is because they wanted the fruit without tending the tree. Sometimes it is because they mistook wishing for preparing. Sometimes it is because they asked to be chosen while living in ways that made them unreliable. Do not be angry at preparation. Preparation is mercy. When I make you wait, it is not always because the thing is far away. Sometimes it is because your answer is still maturing. Think of the craftsmen, builders, inventors, leaders, and creators you have admired. The world often sees a moment and calls it overnight success. But what the world calls sudden is often the visible part of a long unseen process. The public sees the launch, not the years of discipline. The world sees the result, not the repeated failures, corrections, and refinements. The world sees the scale, not the nights of self-doubt that had to be overcome. The world sees the name, not the long interior wrestlings that shaped it. Why do you resent the hidden season when it is the birthplace of substance? You ask for a powerful question to be placed before you. Yet I tell you that your life is already full of questions, and you answer them every day. Will you rise when no one is monitoring you? Will you keep your word when breaking it would be easier? Will you continue when progress feels invisible? Will you study when others scroll? Will you practice when others talk? Will you save when others spend recklessly? Will you listen when your ego wants to impress? Will you tell the truth when image would benefit from exaggeration? Will you honor the small opening before demanding a larger one? Will you become excellent in private so that public opportunity does not expose private laziness? These are all answers. These are all rehearsals for the larger moments you imagine. Some of you are waiting for one giant breakthrough to justify your life. But I tell you that your life is not justified by one spectacular event. It is shaped by repeated surrender. The breakthrough matters, yes. The open door matters, yes. The conversation matters, yes. But the soul that enters the next season matters more. Do not become so fascinated with outcomes that you neglect formation. And let me say this with tenderness. You do not need to pretend to be more than you are in order to be used greatly. You do not need false confidence. You do not need imitation. You do not need borrowed language, borrowed identity, borrowed posture, borrowed vision, borrowed personality. You do not need to become a copy of whoever the world currently rewards. You do not need to become loud to be significant. You do not need to become cold to be effective. You do not need to become arrogant to be bold. You do not need to become someone else to be chosen for what is yours. I can do more with one fully yielded soul than the world can do with 100 performers wearing masks. So answer from truth, not from performance. Answer from courage, not from panic. Answer from conviction, not from desperation. Answer from peace, not from vanity. Answer from wisdom, not from urgency created by fear. If a question associated with power, influence, money, innovation, or visibility ever stands before you, do not let your heart collapse inward. Breathe. Remember me. Remember what is eternal. Remember what kind of person you are becoming. Remember that no human conversation determines your worth. Remember that your value did not begin when someone important noticed you. Remember that I knew your name before any public platform could speak it. Remember that you were loved before you were impressive. Remember that your destiny does not require you to betray your conscience. Remember that what is for you will not demand that you become false in order to receive it. Some of you need to answer now, not to a person, but to life itself. Life has been waiting on your answer. The unfinished work is waiting on your answer. The idea you keep postponing is waiting on your answer. The habit you need to change is waiting on your answer. The apology you need to make is waiting on your answer. The discipline you need to begin is waiting on your answer. The skill you need to develop is waiting on your answer. The risk you need to take is waiting on your answer. The small obedient step you keep delaying is waiting on your answer. How much longer will you say you are called while continuing to live undecided? How much longer will you say you are preparing while refusing structure? How much longer will you say you want your life to matter while spending your strength on things that do not build anything? How much longer will you keep asking me to send what you are not willing to steward? How much longer will you keep telling yourself that someday you will begin? Beloved, begin now. Begin before you feel fully ready. Begin before the doubts leave completely. Begin before all applause arrives. Begin before the perfect timing appears. Begin with what is in your hands. Begin with what you know. Begin with what you can do today. Begin with humility. Begin with order. Begin with